are back again for another weekly edition of What the Fuck Tuesday, where we talk about, well, basically, we talk about various issues that have come in through the advice column. And it's kind of interesting. Let me see how many letters do I have this week. Let me check. Wow, 14. Wait, 14? Yeah, 14. Wow, we haven't had this many in a minute. But what happens if you're new here? My name is Deborah Cooper. I've been an advice columnist for dang near 30 years now. And what we do here is people submit letters into my advice column. My cousin so wonderfully extracts them from my email, puts them into this nice, handy dandy, and organized format right here. And so then I am, emailed the packet, I print it out, and then this is it. So when I'm reading these, this is the first time I'm seeing them as I write, I'm hearing it right along with you. It's the first for each of us. And luckily, though, I have enough experience at this that I can just, pretty much come up with a response off the top of my head. And so it's not really, it hasn't really been a problem for me to come up with at least some kind of half-assed answer. So if this is your first time coming to one of these live streams, we do have a couple of rules. The moderators enforce them. You can't call people names, no promotion of your channel, your book, your album that's about to drop, none of that. Okay, if you want to advertise, you need to pay. Then I can get the money to my moderators who voluntarily do this from out of the kindness of their heart. So remember that it wouldn't be going to me; it'd be going to them. And also, just stay on topic. Don't start trying to branch off on other stuff. Stay focused, and feel free to talk about what I'm talking about in the letters. Here, uh, right along with me, because sometimes what happens is if you read in the chat, sometimes the chatters have some different insight, different experiences, and it adds and augments, or even may even be totally different than my perspective. But between all of us, we usually can come up with some pretty decent responses to most of the questions. So let me start. This is What the Fuck Tuesday for March 12th, 2019. Question number one is from a young lady who's 27 years old from Canada. She says, I am online dating at the moment and have been chatting and meeting in person with a guy who seemed lovely. Uh oh, she put that D on there. That means past tense. We got on really well. He told me that he had a few kinks, and one of the reasons he hadn't been successful in online dating so far was that he was looking for someone who had all the same kinks, one of them being that he liked to act out a daddy daughter fetish in the bedroom. I'm 27, but I look a lot younger. I'm very petite and have a baby face. And he started mentioning how that was what he was attracted to. I was still digesting what he had told me and had no idea if I would be into this kink or not, and was not sure if I found it creepy that he was attracted to my appearance for that reason. You don't know? You have to think about it? But I found that in subsequent chats over text, he was being quite condescending and calling me names like princess and little girl, which as a grown woman I did not like. I told him that I have no idea if I would be into this kink, but I didn't want the daddy daughter dynamic to leak into our interactions as I was looking for a grown up relationship. He told me to stop overthinking and was a bit dismissive about it. I said, okay, I need to be more specific. No, what you need to do is let him talk to Mr. Click. That's what you needed to do. It's not. See, cell phones don't have that same satisfying thing that you used to have from them old plastic phones. Man, them old phones, them things was heavy. You could use them as a weapon and clock somebody upside the head with them. Not only that, when you took that little receiver with that metal covered plastic and you slammed it down on those little hooks, it made the most satisfying sound, this bang, and then you heard this distinct click. Now with a cell phone, they just kind of like disappear, and that's just not the same. So, that's why people don't know what you're talking about now when you talk about Mr. Click. So she says she was going to be more specific. She says, I am asking you not to call me princess. And he replied, "Okay, shithead." When I told him that was not at all appropriate, he then said it was a joke and sent an extensive apology. Okay, this dude then already struck out like 57 times. He seemed so nice prior to this, and it was out of the blue. The only other time I've been insulted in a relationship as a joke when I let it go, the person turned out to be verbally abusive. As a result, I blocked this guy and ended the burgeoning relationship. Kind of sad as we got on very well and I liked him. I'm just interested to hear what would you do if someone insulted you like this as a joke early in dating. I do feel it is a big red flag. However, a friend of mine says she thinks it's normal for men to say this to each other. He made a misjudgment and she'd give him another chance. Okay, first of all, when you grow a dick, then he could talk to you like that in reference to, talk to other men like that. Your friend is stupid. Okay, your friend is desperate and your friend is dumb. Okay, damn desperate. Okay, she all of those things. Secondly, what would I do? Soon as he acted stupid, talking about some daddy daughter, whatever you said, daddy daughter nonsense, I would have told him I had a daddy and he didn't look like you. You freaking pervert. That's what I would have told him. I'm not interested in playing them kind of pedophile games with you. That's why he chose you, like you said, because you look, even though you're 27, you look like a much younger person. So in his mind, see, he can get off on his pedophile fantasies. Hey, reader, you know, by doing with whatever he was gonna do with you, but you would be legal, so he wouldn't have to, worry about a jail sentence. No, 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 no. Let me tell you something, young lady. Last month during February, I did a whole video on knowing your bottom line. It was one of the first ones I did that month because it set the stage for all the stuff that I was going to be talking to young women about over the course of February, about knowing yourself, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, standing up for yourself, setting boundaries and maintaining them. All of those things were that was like the foundational video for what came during the other 3 weeks of February. So in this situation, what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to already know that you didn't want to get involved in anything like this. This is something sick. Something's wrong with this dude. I mean, I know people have different fetishes about feet and all that stuff, and people have different tolerance levels. But to me, anything that involves children or animals, feces, urine, this kind of stuff, that shit is off the table. You out the door, and I'm done. It's a wrap. Okay, that's this like not even a conversation. Soon as he would have mentioned that, he would have got cussed out, and then ditched, hung up on, kicked out of my life, all of those things. So I'm not really sure, why you tolerated this so long and talking about he seemed really nice. What part of him is nice? Talking to you like this and having these weirdo ideas and being condescending to you so early. Where's the nice part? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm glad that you finally wised up and got rid of him, though. And, a little late, but you did it. And so there you go. Happy Tuesday. Hey, everybody. Why am I not seeing all my chatters? This is really bothering me. Hold on a second while I relaunch my software and see what's going on here. It's always something. It just can't just go normal. It just can't be right. Just easy. It just worked the way it's supposed to. There's always got to be drama. Always got to be something. Okay, my YouTube stuff is not coming through. That's what's going on. Hold on, people. Let me fix something up right here. Luckily, I have two monitors, about to add a third. So I can put this over here and put this over here. What's the reason for that bad behavior and the reasons that expectation that somebody should accept it? Because these dudes be going, looking and hoping that they have a woman who's got low self esteem and has no boundaries, which most young women don't seem to. They really be struggling with that. I have two monitors about to add. And, that's what I work with them so hard for, to try to get them to understand how important it is. You're going to be out here dealing with these dudes. There's everybody. Why is everybody not showing up in my chat stream? This is so bizarre. But anyway, whatever. I'll just keep both windows open. So the reader, that's the answer there. These guys go looking for younger women that are more easily to control and manipulate. Okay, question number two. We got 14 questions in case you missed it. Uh, 14 questions here on What the Fuck Tuesday for March 12th, 2019. She's 22. She lives in Los Angeles and she's writing, "Why do men expect sex after 3 days?" Ah, I am afraid to date because sex after 3 dates is not my standard at all. I like being friends first and getting to know the guy. Okay. Why do men expect sex after 3 days? They really would hope to get it on the first one. You know what I mean? So three is like they champing at the bit. But the main thing is, it's like to me, asking a question like this is asking is why is water wet? Why do birds fly? Why is mud sticky? Why is fire hot? I mean, there's no who knows the answer. There's no answer. It just is what it is. And so when you have a situation like this, it doesn't matter what he expects, what he likes, what he wants, what he imagines, what he dreams of happening, and all that stuff. What matters is what you allow. That's all on you. And sometimes it's like it's not even a bad thing to tell them. On the first and second date, if you can see that you're going to continue dating the guy, it's just tell him what you just said to me. I know a lot of dudes expect to be getting busy and getting between the sheets on the third date, but I don't operate like that. I need to get to know who you are as a person first before we start swapping bodily fluids. And if that's not something that you want to tolerate, and I can't give you a time frame. I can't tell you when I'm gonna be comfortable enough to want to do that. I can't tell you when if I'm gonna even like you enough to want to do that. I can't give you no guarantees. This is not a contract situation. We're going to see how we work out, and I will be the judge of that, not you. And you're free to leave anytime you get ready if it's not working out for you. But I'm just saying, even no matter how much you like me or how much you want to do it, it's not gonna happen until I'm ready. And so if that's a problem, just there's the door, hit it. And that's what you got to say. Yes, why is water wet? I don't even know. Why is the sky blue? Why do fish swim? Why are nignogs nignoggery? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's all these like circular questions that have no answer. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much, girlfriend. You just set your standard, maintain your boundaries, and don't worry about what they want. I mean, it's irrelevant. Question number three. Female. She's in the 26 to 35 age group and she's from Delaware. Wow, I think this is my first letter from Delaware. They put a price point, price away. You know what I mean? Because you're right. I mean, they don't want to spend all this money and all this stuff because they thinking that you're gonna owe them some coochie or something. And my thing is this: if you want guaranteed action for your money, there's people in that line of work, motherfucker. Go over there and find one. Look at what used to be called Backpage. I don't know if they got rid of that, but I'm sure there's some other kind of publications of a similar line of work, where you can find those kind of people in that line of work. I mean, make the magic happen. Get out of my face. I'm not, that ain't me. I'm not looking for that kind of situation. And if that's what you're looking for, you got to get your checkbook out, your wallet, your credit card working, your Amex, whatever you're going to use, and make it happen. Just don't think you're going to be getting that over here. Because, I don't do that kind of work. That's all you got to say. All right, let's talk about. Oh, this is quick. Okay. First, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to read my message. Oh, look, she got manners. I've been listening to you for the past year, and you have helped me be more confident. I've learned how to maintain my value and set expectations for men. I do have a question for you. Well, all that part I just read, good for you. Good, good, good job. I've been friends with a guy for about 8 years. We just got into a relationship about a month ago. He's a really nice guy. Uh-oh. The death knell. He's very respectful and treats me well. Well, that's good. I have two issues. Number one, the sex is horrible. Whenever they lead with, he's a nice guy, and then there's a but, there's always a but. Nice. And then before I even finish reading this letter, I just want to interject this because I know it's dudes listening. Yeah, see, that's why us nice guys never we don't get it women. They always go to the thugs. They don't want us nice guys. They don't want nice guys because y'all can't fuck. You can't fuck worth a damn. And it's like, what adult woman who wants an active, satisfying sex life is gonna want to be bothered with you? The fact that you nice does not make up for the fact that you can't do shit in bed. Okay, ain't no woman in this world gonna sacrifice a sex life to be married to you, and all you bring it to the table is nice. Okay, because she could go get nice that's slinging. Okay, now what you gonna do? Just to getting all her needs met that way. Whereas with you, she's got to what you call it, compromise and settle for a quote nice guy that don't do shit in the bedroom. Okay, so let me move on. And then her point two, okay, point one was the sex is horrible. Point two, he said he wanted to focus on building his business this year. He does not want to spend any money going out on dates. Ha ha ha. He ain't nice, but he still wants to be together. What are your thoughts on this, Deb? I'm not sure if I want to proceed with this relationship. Thanks for everything. No, you don't proceed with this relationship. First of all, let me tell you something. You was friends with dude for 8 years, okay? That means if you was friends with him for 8 years, you should have just kept being friends with him for another 25, whatever. Because you know what? It wasn't never there. The interest, the sexual attraction that you would need to be with a man was never there. That's why y'all was in the friend zone. Okay, sometimes you meet a dude, and you first start off as friends the first month or two or three or whatever, but the attraction is there, the interest is there, you all get along, you have fun when you're together, and you quickly morph that friendship into something else. Okay, 8 years later, that ship has sailed and sunk, honey, like the Titanic. That shit is over. It's a wrap. So you made a gross error in judgment here by trying to, go along with this program and change this friendship. See, he always had sexual curiosity about you. That's what this is. So now he's got it satisfied, and now he's gonna talk about he want to build his business. So what's what you need to do? You need to tell him, well, I want a man who's got time for me, and I also want a man who knows how to put it down in bed. You don't be check off either one of them boxes, and so let's just go back to being friends. And if you don't want to do that, then you can go on your merry way. That works too. But you need to be honest with dude. Stop sacrificing your body and your heart, your emotions to a man who's not interested in you like that. He just wanted to tap it because he's been waiting for 8 years to do it. He's had his opportunity, and now he's telling me he still want to be together. He's not gonna spend no money. Fuck this motherfucker. I mean, what the hell? He think he just gonna roll through and get some ass? That's what he sound like he trying to set you up for. You better get the fuck away from this fool. I'm just saying, he is out of his mind. Just like you trying to morph some old raggedy ass man from 8 years ago into some boyfriend. You was tripping. I mean, I love you and everything, but you was tripping hard. Don't do that. Get rid of this fool today. Don't let him touch you again, because you be like grossed out, breaking out in hives and shit from this stupid nigga. Oh my God. Question number four. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Look at my eye makeup. I made it match my shirt. I got all this new makeup, right, and so I've been playing in it. I looked a hot mess the other day though. I don't know what I did, but I looked like I was Morticia or somebody from Adam's Family. I was like, okay, we need to wash this off. Oh, yeah, I don't know, Robin. I'm, really curious why she made that decision myself. Be sure, young lady, since you do listen to the show, I'm assuming you're either listening now or you'll catch the instant replay. But you want to take a look at the chat room because they are giving you some guidance. All right, let's move on. Question number four. This is from a young lady who's 26 from Huntsville, Alabama. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I'm in a dilemma and I really need advice because I'm not sure how to move forward or even address this situation. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 2 years now. Some of the things that really drew me to him was his adventurous spirit, his love to travel, and his big heart. When we met, one of the things that sparked our mutual interest was that we both needed people to travel with, and we agreed to see the world together. Hmm. So during our two almost Wait, I guess she means almost 2 years together. The only place we've been has been Las Vegas, and that was with his brother and his sister. I've been expressing to him for the past year that I really wanted to go to Aruba. However, it hasn't been much of a priority for him. Last week, his sister calls him and asks if he wants to still go to Aruba with her and her daughter. Of course, he says yes. It kind of annoyed me because whenever she asks him to do something, he jumps. We've been talking about getting married and engaged, and he tells me that as soon as his money's right, we'll get engaged. But all of a sudden, his siblings are getting dirt bikes for the summer, and all of a sudden now he has to spend $2,000 on a dirt bike so he can ride with them. Also, me and him just had a big argument about a month ago, and he goes to his sister and tells her every little detail, and now they're telling him to leave me. Ooh, Lord have mercy. He is 28, but I feel like he's too much influenced by them and does everything they say. Okay, so you 26, he's on the downstroke to 30, and he's still acting like this? But he is the youngest of five, so I understand why he may be influenced by them. I asked him if I'll ever be the number one priority in his life, and he basically told me that until he's married, his sister and siblings and his mama will always come before me. He never has my back and always lets them talk bad about me. Why would I wait till marriage for you to prove I'm the number one woman in your life? What if it never changes, Deb? I really don't know what to do if I'm being dramatic. I also have fears that he's going to end up just like them. They're all in their mid 30s and none of them are married or even in successful relationships. His brother and his sister are live in the same house. The sister lives upstairs and brother lives in the basement. They try to give him advice, but they don't even know what they're doing. How should I approach this? What you should do is you should break up with him. Because as you've noticed, after 2 years, a man is giving lip service to marriage. He's not husband material. Go back and look at the video I just did. Like I don't know, was that last week or the week before? Yeah, it had to be the week before because last week I did my vacation. Um, and look at that one that's like, is your boyfriend? Is he boyfriend material or husband material? Be very clear. This is not even boyfriend material because dude is tripping. How are you gonna be almost 30 years old and acting like this? This makes no damn sense. And who wants? Okay, you're supposed to be saving money to get engaged, and you're gonna go and trick the money off on a dirt bike like you 12? Okay, you need to get out of this situation. If you live with him, start finding a place to move. If you already living on your own, just whatever you need to give him, give it back, because you don't want his siblings talking any shit about you used him or took his stuff or anything like that. Whatever he gave you, give the shit back. Just give it back because you don't want it anyway. You don't want to bring it into your new relationship and your life away from him. Just give him all his shit back and cut ties with him. Go full no contact. That's the only way that you're going to get separated from this situation and find a man who's more on your level mentally and emotionally and maturity wise. This guy is extremely childish, extremely immature, and this is the kind of thing like, excuse me, if you were to marry him, you would just be in a hot mess situation with his family, and it would always be some drama. It would be never ending bullshit. So, and you have a man who lets his family talk about the woman he claims to love. He's a bitch made fool. I mean, I'm not seeing anything in here that would make me think that this was any kind of relationship that you should have stayed in. I mean, once he made you promises, see, I'm real big on that. You tell me you're gonna do something and then you don't do it. It's done. I'm finished. I'm not gonna stick around so you can do it to me again and again and again and again and again. So he said, you were trying to get him to go on vacation. That's supposed to be the reason why y'all were so attracted to each other, so you could have somebody to travel with. And then he never wanted to travel. Okay, so either that means you got to go by yourself or you got to get somebody else to go with you. Well, in which case, why is he in the picture? If that was one of the chief motivating factors for you to get with him. All in all, this sounds like a bait and switch. He sounds like a knucklehead. He sounds like someone that you can't trust. You cannot depend on him. So I'm not seeing the basis for a relationship, and I'm definitely not seeing the basis for someone that you would want to call your husband. He doesn't make the cut. This would be a disaster if you were to marry him. Yes. Hey, everybody in the YouTube chat room. I had other chats on this screen, and YouTube's over here. Because usually they mush together. I don't know what's going on. So I have to have everything in two different places. Um, Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay. Now, question number 5. This is from a young lady, 31 years old. Um, oh, you think so, reader? They're paying his way? That might be. Well, they have to be paying his way if he. Well, they ain't gonna pay his way for his bike. He gonna have to buy that himself, I guess. Just a loser. Question number 5. Female, 31 from Colorado. I'm seeking some advice for a tough situation. I don't know what to do. I dated my husband for 4 years before we got married, and we only got married because I accidentally got pregnant. Hmm. When we first started seeing one another, we both just got out of a long term relationship. We were clear from the start that we just wanted something casual. Neither one of us wanted a serious relationship, but days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and you know how it goes. Things were comfortable and I felt safe with him. But it was never true soulmates type of love. I feel like I can say that for both of us. We never said we loved one another until maybe 3 years later, and it was awkward and felt so unnatural. He said at first, and I repeated it because I do care about him. He's great in so many ways, but again, I'm not in love with him. Then we found out we were pregnant and made the decision to get married because of the baby. Thinking back, that was a mistake. We should never have gotten married just because of a kid. We could have been co parents and partners without the lifelong commitment, but what's done is done. Now I have been married for 2 years and have a beautiful toddler. Things are good for the most part, and I don't have too much to complain about, but I feel so lonely sometimes. We lack intimacy and those little touches that I crave. For him, intimacy means sex. Oh God, this is most men. But for me, it means all those little things. Random hugs and kisses, my head on his shoulder. Those things are all missing. To get a hug from him is a battle. I literally have to force him into it. He never kisses me or touches me if it doesn't lead to sex. I just feel so alone and so sad. But to be fair, those things were missing in the beginning of our relationship. Oh, well, see, she could read my mind. But I guess it never bothered me much then. It really bothers me now, though. I'm trying to imagine the next 5, 10, or 15 years without these little things, and it breaks my heart. But like I said, aside from that, we are fine. We are good friends, we are good parents, and we have fun. I know a ton of people looking for that, and I already have it. But at times it just doesn't feel like enough, and I don't know what to do. I would love some insight and advice. I feel so lost. Sometimes something like this is a matter of how people have grown up. If you think about it, and I'm not saying this is him, but I'm just saying this is something for you to think back. Since you've been with the dude all this time, you must know something about his family. When children grow up in families where they don't have much physical contact with people, there isn't much hugging and kissing and patting and sitting in people's laps to read a story and, this kind of stuff, then the kids, it's like unfamiliar territory to them, and they turn into adults and they don't do affection very well because they never learned how to do it. Okay, they never saw it demonstrated. People around them weren't affectionate to each other, and nobody was affectionate to him. So I'm sure that there's some truth to what I'm saying. I don't know what his thing is. So it's either he didn't get any affection, or he got so much, like he was being constantly touched, possibly even abused, you know what I mean, that he doesn't want anybody touching him now, and he's uncomfortable with any signs of, of that kind of thing, because it triggers him in some respect. So it's got to be one of those two. So I don't know if you've ever really sat down with him and explained to him how much you need that from him, to hold your hand, and some shows you some out of bed affection, and to be a little more romantic and caring and stuff like that, um and see what he says. Say, this is really making me unhappy, and it's like I would like to be emotionally connected to you that way. I mean, I think so many we have some great, really great aspects to our relationship, and this would just be like this would just make everything almost perfect. But it's like killing me, it's breaking my heart, it makes my soul feel so empty, that the only time you touch me is when you want sex, and it's just making me miserable. I just feel like I'm being used, and that you just really don't care. I mean, if the only thing that you want something for is sex, I mean, you could get a blow up doll for that. You could get a hooker for that. So you that's how I feel. And tell him. Now, what you might want to do, he's of course going to be defensive. He's not going to understand. He's going to claim you don't understand. You might want to say, maybe we should see a marriage counselor, because your expectation of having affection from your husband is not unrealistic at all. I don't understand, you know, where the breakdown happened, and like you said, you already knew that he was like this, and you guys been together for so long. See, that's what makes me think this is just some family dynamic stuff, and he never really learned how to be comfortable with this kind of thing. I'm really thinking that's what it is. But I would go that route. Talk to the man openly without tears, no yelling and screaming. Just tell him what you need from him and ask him if he would please make an effort to do something like that with you at least once a day, and not to reject you when you reach out to him. So if he could do them two things, I think you'd be a lot happier, and he might actually find that he enjoys it too. And that he'll be able to cuddle with the baby more. I mean, you know what I mean? It'll be a nice thing for him as a man to feel that kind of connection to the two women in his life that he cares about the most. All right, that's what I think. Well, yeah, I don't know, because they have fun, and she said they laugh, and they have fun, and they have all this other stuff that she doesn't really have anything else to complain about. So it's not really a pump and dump, and plus it's her husband. So I'm thinking he just doesn't understand how much this hurts her, and if she hasn't really sat down and really told him, I mean, them little interim whinings, you never kiss me. Oh, you don't know. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not communicating. That's like an accusation. What you have to do is use your words. You have to explain what how you feel, and you have to tell the man what you want and why you want it. Okay, now after you do all that, if he still doesn't make any effort, well, then you have some decision to make. You're gonna either have to go to marriage counseling, or you're gonna have to go and get you somebody on the side, or you're gonna have to get you a divorce. I don't know what to tell you. And you the kind that's so hungry for that affection. If somebody gave it to you that wasn't your husband, you would leave his ass in a heartbeat anyway. So that's my answer to that question. Question number 6. This is from a guy, 29 years old, in St. Joseph, Missouri. Never heard of it. So I'm having alt of guilt. He must mean a lot of guilt about something that happened about 6 months ago. I've been dating my girlfriend for over a year now, and we are engaged. What I'm dealing with may seem silly and stupid to some and serious to others, but it's giving me a lot of stress, and I don't know if it's worth bringing up to her or not. 7 months ago, I added a few girls from Instagram I found attractive and added them onto Snapchat in hope for some pics, and he put an exclamation mark. And this is the truth. I did not ever meet these girls in my life. I don't even remember their names or even know what states they lived in. For about a week, I was sending pics back and forth on Snapchat with a few of them. I had received several nude pics, and had only sent one girl one picture of me nude. Dude, really? You stupid. We talked dirty a little bit. I honestly have no idea why I did it, as I am truly in love with my fiance. I've never physically hurt or even entertained the thought of ever hanging out with another woman. I just wanted to receive pictures of these women, and I have no honest reason why. So my question is, do I tell her about what happened? We honestly have an amazing relationship. We are engaged as of 3 months ago. We live together. The truth is, I'm beyond happy with her, and it makes me sick thinking I got photos of these women and sent one photo to one of them and had some sexual talk. I don't know what I would even say to her if I did tell her. I just don't know if it's worth losing her trust over it or losing her, etc. So what do I do? Do I bring it up and chance starting a shit show, or leave it as a learning experience, which has truly caused me so much stress and anxiety lately? Wait a minute. How old are you again? 29? What is wrong with these men that's on the downstroke to 30 acting stupid? Let me explain something to you, dummy. Look in the dictionary and read the word commitment. Okay, and you understand it because you sound, your word it has great punctuation, spelling, the sentence structure is great. You put paragraphs in place and stuff. So obviously, you have some education, and you are one of the better writers than that have come through here. So that means you have some intelligence and you can figure some shit out. So get open up a dictionary, go online or whatever, and you read what commitment means. And then you read what integrity means. And then you look in the mirror and you tell yourself why you have to figure out why you did what you did. Because you violated your commitment and you showed a marked lack of integrity with those moves. Okay, now why you did that, I can't tell you. What the fuck, am I psychic? I don't know why you did it. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, you better keep your fucking mouth closed. Don't you tell that girl this bullshit because it was stupid. I mean, you don't even know why you did it, so why would you open your mouth to tell her? Then she's gonna say, well, why did you do it? I don't know. Okay, you talking about a shit show. That's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be raining shit, like hail, little bullets of big rocks of shit just falling on your head because you're dumb. Okay, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. And I could say this though, you only been engaged 3 months. This could be your anxiety about marriage coming through, because sometimes you don't want to face. I mean, even though you love this girl, okay, you want to be with her. You can't get enough of her. There's still that nagging doubt because this little voice in your head, because this is a big life change. All your life you've been single. All your life you've been with your parents or whatever. Then now you with her. Okay, now you're getting ready to take that almost the next to final step to adulthood, because the final step is parenthood. Okay, so once you get married, that's like the next step to the top, and then marriage is the top. That's it. So you about to step over into the land of real adulthood, and you were scared shitless. So you're doing stupid shit to sabotage your relationship. That's what you're doing. It's subconscious. It's a sign of stress, and it's a sign of doubt and concern if you're ready or not. A lot of people do stupid shit right before they get married. You're not the only one. So don't think that. But I do want you to understand that this is not something. I mean, you don't even know the women's names, right? You never met the women. You didn't talk to them on the phone. There was no physical contact. There was no verbal contact. It was just some stupid shit online. Okay, so you need to keep it there. You keep your big mouth closed and you forget this shit even happened. That's what you need to do. And then you need to promise yourself and me that you will never do anything so vile to your woman ever again in your relationship. Because even if she doesn't know about it, the fact is you still did it. Okay, so you know about it. You know that you did something to violate your relationship, and don't you ever, 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 ever do that again. You need to watch the video that I wrote, that I did, called "And Then What?" Because that's going to help you get on the path to adulthood. You obviously need some direction. That video will explain to you how you need to stop for 5 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, whatever, before you do something, and ask yourself, okay, if I do that, then what? And take yourself through the mental steps of what's going to happen with each decision that you are tempted to make. Okay, so if you had a thought about, okay, if I do this and then my girl finds out, it's going to fuck up my relationship. Oh no, she loves me, she trusts me. I will fuck it all up being stupid. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Okay, that's what "And Then What" does. It makes you think and see possible ramifications for your choices. That's what you need to do. I don't know the URL, but you just go to this video part and type in, you know, "And Then What," and it should pop right up. I'm just telling you, yeah, what somebody pointed out, she thinks she thinks that you're going to do it again. And unless you figure out why you did this, that was definitely, it might not be this thing that you do again, because it sounds like you're kind of done with that. But you'll do something else that you shouldn't be doing because you're not thinking. You're not being like accountable and making solid choices and being a responsible adult. Okay. And you can't just go off half cocked doing shit, talking about, well, I don't know why I did it. I don't know. I molested my daughter. I don't know why I did it. I broke into a store. I don't know why I did it. I beat the shit out of my wife. I don't know why I did it. See, that's some bullshit. So you need to grow. It's time to grow up now and make better choices for yourself. Man, if you was my son, I don't care 29 and I'd be kicking your ass. Question number 7. This is from a young lady who's 23 and she lives in Ohio. Me and my boyfriend she says, doesn't have anything in common besides being parents to a beautiful little girl From the day we met, it's been that way. Am I the only one seeing this pattern of people just getting in relationships with people that they don't even really like that much? He smokes, and I can't stand the smell of smoke. So he's out smoking with all of our friends because they smoke. Everybody except me. So that some of that shit. But now it's gotten worse. And she's 23. Okay. We don't go out on dates or to the movies, nothing, not even go to the store together. And we are at home, we don't have to be in the same room as each other. And when we do talk to each other, it's either because we are fighting or we're asking each other to do something. And when I ask, he let's do something together or something. He always has an excuse why he can't or we can't do something. And our sex life is hanging by a thread because I don't feel sexually attracted to him anymore. And we have been together for 6 years now, and I've been feeling like this for 4 years now. Wow. Do you think we should stay together? Hell no. Never should have got together in the first place. I mean, okay, this is again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. If you have standards, you know what your bottom line is, you are firm in what it is that you believe, what you want, what you will and will not accept in a man, then you would have never stepped this would have never happened because he smokes. You don't like smoking. Okay, so why did you fuck with him? See what I'm saying? There was just you made a series of bad decisions. Then you fucking around with somebody that you don't really want to be with because he smokes and he's stupid, and then you let yourself get pregnant. Yes, I say you let yourself because if you didn't have any idea that this was going to be a decent man, he's smoking. Okay, you lucky your baby didn't come out with some birth defects. So it's like what I don't understand the decision making process here. One thing that you are only what 23, so obviously, you got with this dude when you was really young and silly, but you've made a series of very bad decisions. Very bad decisions. So now what you would have to do is figure out what you guys going to do about visitation and custody and child support and all that stuff and split up. Be very careful with this because if he likes to hang out with people and smoke and get high and all this kind of stuff, then that means he would be having your baby around that. Okay, so you need to think about that. How can you best protect her? It might be the answer to stay with him. Okay, because at least that way you can be there to guard what's going on and who she's around. But once you move out and he gets visitation for the weekend and he comes and picks her up, you have no control. You won't know who she's around. He could be selling her for drugs. You won't know nothing and won't be shit you could do about it because that's his daughter and he has the right to do it. Oh, thank you, Mashonda. I saw it. I seen it light up. You better think this through really carefully. So you do the and then what too? You taking the shot, reader. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you just need, you listen to this show enough, you will become a Tuesday drunk. Because these people just be on one. Yeah, girlfriend, you need to think about this. And you're only 23, so right, you're gonna want to be dating, and you're gonna be trying to, have your new man around your little baby and stuff. Y'all, you need to slow your roll. Really think about what your next step is gonna be, how you gonna handle it. Backup daycare, all kind of stuff that you need to have in place before you make a move. Okay, the main thing that you need to focus on though is protecting that little girl. Cause he hanging around with some rogue motherfuckers smoking drugs and shit. That could be a big problem for her, and you better think about that too. All right, and worried about your sex life and this motherfucker is he's not trying to touch you, not trying to do nothing with you, and you worried about a sex life. Question number 8. This young lady's only 18. Oh man, a baby from Jackson, Mississippi. So I have a friend, and we met in middle school once before we lost contact. We found each other. We found each other on social media and hanged out with each other 7 times in total. We have a lot in common and we get along pretty well. However, the last 3 times we hanged out, he has been giving me a lot of hugs and petting me on the head. And as of last night, we had a sleepover and we had to share a bed. He kept holding my hand, making soft touches to my face, cuddling me, and he gave me a kiss on my cheek. This morning, he agreed to take me out on a date next week. Okay. However, when I was taking him to dance class, I asked him what was I to him, and he told me he didn't have an answer. So I told him, "Will you be my boyfriend?" He said it seemed too early and didn't have an answer. So I told him, "Just tell me next week when we were hanging out after you think about it." 6 hours later, he told me through Snap that he liked someone else. I told him it was okay and that as long as we are friends, it's cool and nothing changed. Was I too forward? Did he not like me even when he was initiating contact with me last night? What did I do wrong? Did I read the situation wrong? I would like your advice and thoughts. Girl, what the fuck was your rush? Okay, the man, you was in the bed with the man. Okay, it was a big sleepover. Everybody piled in there and everything. So obviously he wasn't gonna be doing nothing in that moment. I was just sharing the bed. So he's being all tender and romantic and all this stuff, and he want to take you out on a date. Okay, obviously he was attracted to you. Now whether he wants to be in a relationship with you is something altogether different. And but you have to give people time. You said you met up with him. You used to know him in middle school, but you lost contact. So he doesn't really know who you are anymore. He's got to figure all of that out and see, he still likes you. He's touching your face. So he's going on his memories of when he used to know you. But I mean, who are you now? And who is he now? You don't know that. You want to skip over all of that and just jump right into taking a claim on a dude that you haven't seen in all of this time. Years. So I'm like, of course he told you that he didn't know yet. Anybody who's sane would tell you that. And to tell you that he liked somebody else, that was because he could see that you was going in the direction of being a stalker and crazy and just doing too much too fast. How you gonna have somebody be your boyfriend and you haven't even gone on an official date with him yet? You said you hung out, okay, hanged out. That's not a date. Just like you had this big sleepover, okay? It's like 50 people there. That's not a date. So he officially wanted to take you on a date by saying this is a date. This is not a hangout. Okay, that means he was getting ready to, put the romantic moves out there and make the relationship between the two of you something else if everything clicked. But you just skipped over all of that. You put the mash on dude and you start talking about, well, you're going to be my man and all this old stuff. Girl, that dude put on his track shoes and ran. I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing. I don't know what she really realizes, Faye. F-E-R. I don't know how you pronounce that. I don't know what she realizes, because this is all I know about them. Unless they write back and tell me something, this is all I ever know. But, dude is just got some issues. But the way I described it, I'm sure she can't miss what my implications are, was very blunt. Question number 9. We got 14 questions today in case you just came in. So, we're going to be here for a minute. I don't know how many of them are long, short. I mean, I don't know the length of them, how long it's going to take me to answer them, but we only on number 9. Male, 24 from Houston. So, I recently added a girl on Facebook. Wait, let me get a swig. She accepted my friend request really fast. I know her from high school and we graduated almost 6 years ago. So I sent her a Facebook message and she replied really quickly. Knowing the answer would be yes. Oh, see, I see, because he already knew what the setup was. Okay, you think you slick. But I like this. Okay, knowing the answer would be yes, I sent in my message that you look really familiar. Did we go to the same high school? Dude got game. Ha ha, that's cute. She replied and said yes, and that she remembered me. I played the conversation off cool, letting her know that it was nice talking to her, and hopefully we can talk again soon. She replied with a smiley face and said anytime. I said great, and she sent 2 more smiley face emojis. I'm not trying to seem desperate, but I'd like to talk to her again. So my question is, what is a good time to send another message, or should I wait and hope she starts the next conversation? Dude, you 24 years old. Okay, you ain't. Where did you know this girl from? High school, 6 years ago. You 24 now. Come on now. You want to talk to the girl? Send the girl a message because I'm sure you don't have her number because you lost. You knew her from years and years ago. Tell her, that you would like to talk to her on the phone. Is it all right if you get her number? Or better yet, can the two of you meet up? Say, I'd like to take you to lunch or something, something lightweight. Uh, no alcohol, like lunch. or brunch, something like that, some pancake breakfast or something. I'm not talking about one of them $30 buffets. And, meet up with the woman. Make sure that everything is, as we used to say in the 90s, copacetic. And, just get things offline. I mean, I know this is the thing, you young people, these millennials and these whatever the young people, whatever the one is under that, y'all like to do everything online. It's like your lives revolve around, Facebook statuses and who's got who as a friend and looking on my friends list and liking my pics and all the stuff. I mean, that stuff means so much to you guys. I just be rolling my eyes. I mean, I have to deal with it because this is what I do, but I still think it's silly and you be putting too much on it. Okay, real relationships happen offline. Okay, anything that happens online is not real. So you need to get that offline, get into each other's face, start talking to each other face to face so you can read her facial expressions, see what she's looking like, what she working with, she can see yours. I hope you've been in the gym so you make a nice impression. Don't be embarrassing me. Cause showing up there looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy or nothing. That will not be cute. I don't want to hear about that. So, you make the magic happen. Get up there, look cute, smell good, and then take that girl out. And you want to, want to get something going with her, then make it happen. And stop worrying about seeming desperate. That's one thing women hate is men playing them kind of silly games, them waiting games. So you wait too long, so you miss the window of opportunity. So what you want to do, I don't know how you didn't say how long. You said recently. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, if it's been more than 2 or 3 days, you need to write her and ask for her number like soon as you hear this. That's what you need to do. It shouldn't be any longer than that. Don't be waiting a week or two, because then she gonna think you stupid. Either that, or you not too interested, or you playing games. So step up, make it happen. Man, the fuck up. You from Houston? That's the land of real men. Don't disappoint me. Question number 10. This is from a young woman who's 22 who lives in Boston. He's not a weirdo. He just trying to be just shy and silly. That's all 24-year-old men. Either if they're not acting like him and being, somewhat hesitant and unsure of themselves, then that means he's just a straight dog. Okay? So the fact that he's considering, how he comes across to her and, wanting to make a good impression and all this kind of stuff, he's nothing wrong with him. He just, you know, a typical young man who just like found somebody he likes and don't know what to do. All right, female 22 from Boston. So I've been seeing this guy for about 8 months. Notice how they always tell me how long they've been together. That's always the most important thing to these women. Recently, I started to notice that I've been a bit unhappy. His communication is terrible. I asked if he could see a future with me, and he wants to go into a long distance relationship when he leaves for work. He said, "We'll have to see." And he leaves soon. The other day, I went over to his house, and he barely acknowledged my existence and just kept playing video games. Oh, just things are lacking. I always feel unimportant to him. I always feel like a second thought. That's because you are. I know I should leave. Oh, then why are you writing me? I don't need to be wasting time like this, but I find myself scared. I'm scared I'll regret it. I'm scared I'll miss him. I'm just terrified. Pretty normal, I'm assuming. I feel like he isn't even too into the relationship anyway. Any advice from me? Yes. I have to say this at least once a month. Take this hand, draw it back, way back, and then whack yourself and do it repeatedly until you come to some senses, because this is stupid. Okay, you not only he's not interested in you, you just push yourself on, dude. Coming to his house, but did he invite you? You just showed up. No wonder he kept doing what he was doing. Was polite. I would have told you to get the fuck out. But everybody's not, as rude as me. But if I didn't invite you, don't be coming knocking on my door thinking that I'm gonna stop what I'm doing to entertain your ass. You just gonna sit there then because I'm doing this. So from that I don't blame him. He's just doing what he was doing. You, of course, things are lacking and you feel unimportant to him. That's because you are unimportant to him. There's no reason for you to be tripping about this dude. And he's talking about he want to go long distance when he leaves for work. Oh, you asked him rather if he wants to go. Oh, I see. And he said we'll have to see. Oh, this is all. He just want to keep access to that ass until he actually leaves. That's what that is. You tripping because he's going to leave. You already don't have a real relationship with him. I don't know what you call this. It's some desperate something, and he's gonna leave, and he's just gonna forget all about you. So you need to start bracing yourself. Talking about you're terrified, and you're gonna miss him like a toothache. Question number 11. This is a young woman, 22, from San Jose. Oh, down the highway here. Hi, Deb and the squad. Squad, she's hollering for you. Hi, Deb and squad. I have a question about my relationship. No. On What the Fuck Tuesday, you have a question about your relationship? Who would have guessed? So my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years now. See? The time again. Naturally, the topic of marriage has been brought up, and he told me he doesn't ever want to get married and has never wanted to before because, quote, men don't benefit, end quote, from it. The marriage subject arose when he asked me for the fourth or fifth time if I wanted to move in with him. Then the topic of kids came up, and he said he sees us raising children together and that he definitely wants to have kids with me. I then brought up marriage because I personally believe marriage is important if you're going to be living and raising children together. He said he loves me and he shows me every day that he does, but honestly, the best boyfriend that I ever had, he's honestly the best boyfriend I've ever had, and we had a great relationship from day one. I love him, but if marriage isn't one of the goals in our relationship, is it in my best interest to leave him? Or should I just continue with it and possibly grow in resentment, knowing that it will never happen? I'm not sure if I'll ever be content knowing that marriage isn't in the cards for us. Or am I supposed to just be happy where we are and thankful to be in such a relationship and then maybe one day I'll be okay with not getting married? Here we go. I won't give him an ultimatum as some of my friends have suggested because they feel that I feel that they're being unfair. I just feel like I'm at a crossroads in the relationship and don't know which road to take. Let's see, how long have y'all been together now? 2 years. Okay, well, 2 years in a day. That's it. Cut ties. See, once again, you have a goal for your life. Okay, you want to be married when you have children. He doesn't. So this is a morals thing. This is a value clash. This goes very, very deep into the very core of who you are as a woman and what you need to feel secure and safe and the structure under which you want to live your life. This guy does not want what you want. Okay, he might be perfect in 90 other ways, but in the way that counts, the biggest one, as far as moving forward in life and raising your children together and your kids, being with their dad and their parents married and all stuff, if that's important to you, and you have every right to have that, then you say no to him. Make sure you keep your birth control tight. Do not depend on condoms because this motherfucker will slip up and get you pregnant. Then you're going to be stuck. Be very careful. What you need to do is just tell him, I've been giving this some very serious thought. And, even though you are the great boyfriend, I've realized that you're not husband material, not for me. You're boyfriend material. Check the video. And, we have some very different expectations and some very different values around the way that we want to construct our lives. I want to be married when I have children. I do not want to be a baby mama. I do not want to be shacking up with no man, having kid after kid. That's not the lifestyle that I want to live. I understand this is fine with a lot of people. I'm not, knocking them, but it's not fine for me. And therefore, since that's your attitude, that means that you and I are incompatible, and I'm going to have to, as much as it hurts me, I'm going to have to end this because we're going in different directions with our lives. And there's no point in us staying together because you're never going to give me what I want, and I'm never going to demand it of you because that's just not fair. You've already told me where you are, and I want to respect that, and I also need you to respect my choices. And then you just break it off with them. It don't have to be no big fight, full of nasty name calling and all the stuff. This is an adult conversation about a difference in values, and the values are who you are as a person, you know, and is you can't give that up. You will hate yourself, and you will hate him as well. So don't do that. Don't ever sacrifice your values for a man or relationship. Don't ever, 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 ever do that to yourself. You need to take care of yourself emotionally and psychologically, and if you need marriage for that to happen, then and that's the way you've been raised, those are the expectations you have as a woman, you have every right to get those. And so this guy is just merely a stop on the road to that, but he's not the final destination. Okay, that's what I got to say. Question number 12. This is from a young woman who's 29 years old. She lives in Spokane, Washington. Last fall, I attempted to commit suicide. Oh, and I was hospitalized. When this happened, my boyfriend was on a family vacation. He spent a lot of money and ended up paying for his whole family, which left him broke. When he found out that I had tried to commit suicide, he didn't have the money to come back. But my best friend offered him the money to come back home. He didn't accept my friend's help. I'm not sure why, and didn't come back home immediately. Instead, he came back a week later with his family. My wounds weren't superficial, and I needed several stitches in my wrist and was held for psychiatric evaluation. I never expressed how much this hurt me until recently. And my friends and my mother also came forward telling me how much him not returning really bothered them too. When I confronted him about it, he said he didn't know that I was that it was that serious to me, or that he would have automatically known to come back. He even swears that I told him he didn't have to. I don't remember saying that. I'm still getting over and dealing with my suicide attempt, and this is really upsetting. Am I overreacting? Should I have had to tell him that I needed him to come home? Should I feel bad that he didn't accept my friend's help to come home? I'm trying to figure out what all this means to me. I'm very hurt by it. I've lost faith and trust in him. Is something wrong with me? Am I not looking at this the right way? Yes, something's wrong with you. You all fucked up in the head. Okay, first of all, because you want to kill your goddamn self, that don't change shit in nobody's life but yours. Okay, that's the main thing that you need to hear. I do not have no pity for you. I'm about to rip your ass wide open. Number one, you're 29 fucking years old. If you having some problems, get your ass to a shrink and handle it. It's not your boyfriend's job to spend all his money and cancel his vacation and disappoint his entire family because you decided you want to split your wrist, saw your wrist off or whatever the fuck you tried to do. Fuck you. Okay, that's what I would have told you. Fuck you, I'm not coming home. You decided to do that because you want some fucking attention. And you think I'm gonna be flying halfway across the country and canceling my fun because you decided to commit suicide because you mad that I left. Fuck you. That's what you would have heard that from me. And your mother and your whoever your friends, all these codependent motherfuckers around you, try to make somebody do what you want to do because you saw it on your wrist, you would have got cussed the fuck out. You would have been every kind of bitch I could have thought of, and we would have broke up. So one thing you are never gonna do, and I'm glad he handled your ass that way, is you trying to manipulate and control somebody by what you decide to do, threatening suicide and trying, committing suicide and stuff. If you really wanted to be dead, your ass would be dead. We wouldn't be having this conversation. You still trying to use this little incident to control and manipulate him. You think you slick? I see right through this bullshit. Get your fucking ass to a psychologist or shrink or somebody and leave this man alone. Leave him alone. And I'm not going to feel sorry for you in one iota. You get no pity from me for this bullshit. And I lost faith and trust in him. He lost it in you. You wait till he goes out of town. You think you slick. You wait till he went out of town and having fun and you got mad. That's what it was. You trying to figure out a way to manipulate him to come back and do what you wanted him to do. Acting like he was so injured and shit. I wouldn't have came back for a fucking month. How about that? Figuring out what all this means to me. God damn it. Oh no, she wrote to the wrong person with this shit here. No, he need to break up with you. You so stupid. Your mama's dumb and your friends are stupid too. But yeah, you overreacting. It's upsetting. You wouldn't be. You don't even know upset. Had I been your boyfriend, then you would have had something to be upset about. Trust me. Yeah, this is the total manipulation. I'm like, bitch, die, okay? And then click. I'm like, I'm not coming back. You may not even see me when I do get back because I'm not liking how you trying to act. This game you trying to run here. I would have called her ass out on it. She's used to running people. But I'm going to kill myself. What you want me to do? Die. I mean, what? I'll get you some flowers. What kind you want for your funeral? I'll do that, but I'm not coming back. I mean, He think he's scared of her? He don't need to be scared of her. All he has to do is say, I'm gonna talk shit to you and make you commit suicide again. I'm evil like that. I'm not the one to try that because I will talk so much shit to you. By the time I get finished, you will definitely want to hang yourself, shoot your something because I'm not gonna. We're not gonna go down this road. You're not gonna play with me like that. Anybody gonna be having a problem here? It's gonna be you. It's not gonna be me. And you never, ever gonna get me to do what you want me to do by threatening to kill yourself. Cause I'll be like, shit, fuck you. Die then, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Psh. Woo! Question number 13. I hope that she hears this and understands what codependency is, because everybody around her is codependent except for dude. And I'm proud of him for responding the way that he did. He didn't say fuck you with words, he said it with his behavior. Good for you. Question number 13. We're nearing the end of this farce. His family may be mad because they thought that the boyfriend would be the man, the new caretaker. Oh, absolutely. And he sidestepped that shit, honey. He did one of them like Michael, what's his name? The one that was doing the basketball play, Michael Jordan, them little spin around, Kobe style moves where they dribble and then they duck around and go up for the three. That's what dude did. And they didn't know what happened. And he was just like having himself a good time and not too bothered about them. And I like his style. Okay, question number 13. Female 30 from Miami. So I'm at a bit of a loss here. I've been seeing a nice guy for a little over a year. He's sweet, yet gruff. Who uses that word? And over the last few months, we've gotten a lot closer. So imagine my surprise last night when I saw a child's toothbrush in his bathroom. What? He had invited me over for dinner and more, so he knew I was coming, and he left that out. Anyway, I asked, and he tells me he has a 5-year-old daughter. He has a kid, that's fine. She existed before I knew him. That's a given, but I just can't wrap my brain around why he never told me. She lives with his ex, who I did know about, and visits him once or twice a month. I asked him why he didn't tell me. He said at first we were not overly serious, which is true. We were more smash buddies than anything else. And then more and more time passed, and he had no idea how to tell me. He said leaving the stuff out was not an intentional way of not telling me. He only recently got a new place, previously had roommates, so she never stayed overnight with him there. I feel slightly hurt he didn't tell me, and while he understands that he also got miffed because I said I needed some space to think, my gut reaction is to end it. He has a whole part of his life intentionally he didn't share. What else might he be lurking over the horizon? I did ask and he said nothing. My brain is reeling, Deb. Typing it out seems to be helping. I just feel like I can't trust him. There have been times where we were going out and he canceled in sight work emergency, but now I have to wonder if he lied and his daughter needed him. Which, hey, skipping dinner for your kid is an awesome dad, but lying? And we chatted about long term. Again, he stated that I made it clear from the start I didn't want a hearts and flowers relationship and I don't want kids, which is still true. I'm twice divorced. I've tried that long term and it never suited me. I just can't seem to get by the fact that he omitted part of his life. Anyway, I'm confused. Can you help me? Yes. This is very simple. This is very cut and dry. You're 30 years old. You've been married and divorced twice. Okay, you were not good at picking men, obviously. So you done picked another man that you can't be with. That's what is happening here. You stated that you don't want any kids, yet he has a child. So if you were to continue in the relationship with this man, guess what? You become somebody's stepmama. You said you don't want no kids. Stepmama means you got a kid, right? Because even if the mother is the primary custody, whatever, she got major custody, primary custody, he's going to get visitation. And once he feels like he got somebody to help him with her, he's going to want more visitation. And then, she's going to get older. She's only 5. She's going to want to come for the summer and during winter break. And then to go on vacations together. And he's going to be expecting you, since you both girls, to be helping him with his daughter. Okay. Then, like combing her hair and whatnot like that. And then what you're also going to have to deal with is the fact that the reality, which a lot of people don't seem to really think about, if something happens to that mama, that baby's coming to live with her daddy. And if you married to her daddy, then suddenly now you got a daughter 24/7, and you somebody's mama that you claim you didn't want to be. So what you need to do is realize that you're in a situation now that has some factors that you're not interested in. That's why he didn't tell you. He's not telling you all this other shit. That's bullshit. He knew that you didn't want any kids and he didn't want to lose you. So he just omitted some very important facts. Now whether people say that's lying or not, that's what it is because it leads you to live a false reality. Okay, you are living in an imaginary world where this is a child free man. That's not his reality. He lied, by a sin of omission. That's what that's called. So what you need to do, it's good to say that you need some space to think. Your gut reaction is to end it. Go with your gut because that's what you need to do. You need to tell them, it's been great, it's been magical, and you're right. I thanks for reminding me. I don't want any kids. I don't want to be a part-time mama, a step mama, a babysitter of a kid. I don't want anything to do with children, and that includes yours. As I'm sure she's a lovely child and all of that stuff, but you need to get somebody who wants to be, like playing that role that ain't me. It's been magical. Bye bye. And that's it. That's all you got to do. You're not confused. You know what you want to do. You just don't know how to do it. Oh, somebody sent me $20. Bevmo, here I come. Due to the wine aisle, here I come. Yeah, he just lying. They just be trying to get somebody to sleep with them and all this old stuff. But that's what you need to do. All right, let's do question number 14. Thanks, Kayla. Um, this is the last one, y'all. The last one for What the Fuck Tuesday. Whew. This is a woman who's 32. She's from Jacksonville, Florida. I went through a breakup about 3 months ago with a guy I was dating for about 7 months. I was really depressed for about a month, but really wanted to get back out there, so I've been trying some dating apps here and there and have gone on a few dates. Most of the guys I've gone out with have not been that great, and I wasn't really interested in them, so we just never really followed up. And when they texted me, I told them I didn't think we were a good match, etc. So I went on a date a little over a week ago with a guy, and I thought he was great. He was really nice and easy to talk to and has a really interesting life story. It seems like we want a lot of the same things as far as marriage, kids, and from some of our convos. He's been super consistent with following up after the date and making plans to see me again so I can tell he's into me. We've been out 3 times. Last night was the most recent time, and we ended up having sex. Oh, there's that 3 time thing. It was fantastic. Best sex I've had in a long time. The only thing is, I'm still not sure how into it I am, and it might be because I don't find him as physically attractive as I have other boyfriends in the past. However, I'm not the best judge of character. I tend to always date really good looking guys who are basically overgrown frat boys with commitment issues who don't take relationships seriously, but they're fun. This guy is smart, very nice, more of a homebody than a partier. Unfortunately, that is not what I'm attracted to, but I know me being attracted to bad boys has never worked out. So my question is, do you know anyone that's been out with someone that was a great guy but not their normal type and have it grow? I don't want to just end it with him because I'm not feeling sparks right away, but at the same time, is it worth it to go on a few more dates? I'm so used to guys who don't text me all day and have to be one of the biggest. Wait, I skipped a line. And I have to be the one to suggest plans, etc., that I almost feel like I'm being so nice it's throwing me off. I'm 32, and almost every relationship I've been in has ended by the other guy because he wasn't ready for anything serious. Or I've ended it because I was sick of never feeling important. Oh, okay. It's time for you to grow up. You're 30 fucking 2 years old, and you still on that, good looking guy, hot guy shit. Okay, what is it with you people? You people just don't know how to pick a man. At least you had enough sense though to write to me because you realized that you were stupid and you made dumb choices, and now you're faced with somebody different who's showing you what a good relationship and respectful treatment is like. And you don't even fucking know what to do with it. This is really sad. I mean, it's sad to me that you're 32 years old and all of your relationships have been with knuckleheads, and you finally get somebody who at least comes in the gate acting like you got some damn sense, and you just, just tripping. Like, well, I'm gonna break up with him. Why? Why would you break up with a guy who hasn't done anything wrong? You see from your history that picking a man with your pussy has not worked out well. Okay, it has not worked out well. So maybe now this time you ought to pick it with something else, like your brain. Okay, what is this guy? I mean, obviously you were attracted to him enough to sleep with him. He knows which button to press, so obviously you will relax with him. So you know what I mean? The sex is not gonna be good at somebody if you are tensed up and not feeling good and relaxed and comfortable with that person. So obviously you trust the man. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of positives that I'm seeing here that I'm questioning your sanity right now. What I suggest you do is all them images that you have of what your man's supposed to look like, because see, in the video boyfriends versus husbands, this guy is husband material. The homebody type, he follows through, he's smart, he's obviously educated, he's consistent, he wants to be with you, he wants to see you, he makes it known. I'm like, this is like check check check, this is husband material. Okay, and what you've been having is a bunch of stray, miscellaneous, stupid ass, not even qualified to be boyfriends in your life. For 32 years, that's what you've been exposing yourself to. So, sometimes this is how it happens. You break up with somebody, and the next person you meet is like the one. You have to do like my aunt. I told you guys about how my aunt made this comment to me one time when I was in my late teens, early 20s, talking about, don't like hang on to a bad relationship with her things. You're like, just hang on to your boat until your yacht comes in. That was her phrase. But we used to have a boat. We had like a little. It was called a Boston Whaler. My dad. I don't know where my daddy got this. Like a mini yacht we used to have. And so I knew, about the bursts and all the stuff. And so I'm thinking, okay, how does that gonna work? Okay, because you got the boat there, and it's in a spot that's big enough for this yacht, but the boat's there. So how's the boat? I mean, how's the yacht gonna get there when the boat's in the way? And that's what I told her. I said, but Auntie, the yacht can't get to the dock because the boat's in the way. And I remember she just looked at me because it's like she had never thought of it that way. And this is what happened with you. You broke up with the 7 months dude. That was your boat. Okay, now your yacht is coming. I mean, he might turn out to be, not the yacht that you want, but everything that he's doing so far meets with my very high standards. Okay, he's not. This dude is on it. Okay, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not showing you any signs of being a bullshit artist. He's coming through when he's supposed to be coming. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He wants to be with you, and he's treating you well. I'm like, what in the world? What? I mean, is he a Gila monster? I mean, just because he's not like Fly Guy doesn't mean, I mean, with a haircut and maybe a new shirt or something. I mean, he might be a lot more attractive. My husband was like that because when I first met him, oh my God, he looked like Wolfman Jack or somebody. This big old giant beard and had this raggedy ass ponytail and these like super fly clothes. I was like, what is this? Just a hot mess. But he got a haircut and cleaned up and I mean put on some different clothes and I was like, well damn, who is you? What your name is? He was cute. I could see he had dimples and stuff and I was like, couldn't see any of that. Under all that fuzz he had on his face. Looking just gross. So it might be that kind of same kind of thing, you just he just needs to maybe, change a little style or something. But don't worry about that right now. Concentrate on how the man is treating you. Okay, he's treating you really well. You need to relax and stop tripping. And if you break up with him, I'm gonna find you in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm gonna kick your ass. This don't make no sense. You're 32 years old. You want to get married and have kids and shit. This could very well be the man that's gonna get you there. So you better act like you have some goddamn sense. It's hard to meet somebody to treat you like that these days, and who's so consistent. You know what I mean? This just makes no damn sense. I'm just so. I read her seriously. I just be talking. This is me. This is how I talk. So, um, yeah, she being a drama queen, just doing the most, you know. But anyway, you guys, it's great to be back. I did enjoy my time off, though I have to tell you, I missed you a little bit. Just that much, just a little, And then how they doing the Korean drivers, the little baby heart. Love you. Oh, it was so cute. Yeah, she was just stupid. I mean, if I were her friend and she was acting like that, I would be just punching her in the eye. It's like, girl, you need to sit down somewhere and shut the fuck up. You know how many women be looking for a man to treat them like that? And just be loving his dirty draws and your ass over here, oh, but he doesn't look like the guys I used to date. And you 32. That's some 21-year-old woman shit that you talking. Just dumb. Yes, it was wonderful, you guys. Thank you. I hope you come back on Thursday. I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence, okay? Because, like this young lady right here, marked lack of it. Marked lack of it. A lot of the women that come to this channel, I'm sorry to say, marked lack of it. And the two don't go together. I mean, you could have a high EQ and a low IQ, or vice versa, and that's what we see. A lot of very intelligent people that have little to no emotional intelligence whatsoever. And the angle I'm going to be taking is not about you talking about, understanding your own emotions, even though that's part of it. The primary angle that I want to take is for you to develop the ability to take a moment and pause and try to figure out what their expression is saying, what their body language is saying to you, which will help you interpret how they're feeling. And what you're saying or doing is causing, what kind of emotion is being caused in these people. This is very important, especially if you're a parent. I don't understand how people could have low emotional intelligence and have babies. I mean, babies can't talk. You need to be able to see by looking at them what they're feeling, what's going on with them. So if you that kind of mama where you don't understand what your kid is telling you and you don't have that emotional intelligence, your child is going to grow up and have emotional problems. So this is very important, especially for those of you who are young, talking about you want to be somebody's mama and all this kind of stuff. You need to work on this, okay? We will talk about this all on Tuesday. And I hope that you can join me. I mean, not Tuesday, Thursday. Thursday, for Tough Topic Thursday here on the Debsterism channel, streaming simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch.tv. I hope that you can join me. 6 o'clock Pacific time. That's 9 if you're on the East Coast. Be here. I'll see you then. Bye bye.